So I've been seeing a bunch of TikToks about dating and just going on TikTok to find a date because, well, all the dating apps are just straight garbage. Especially for women in their 50s. Even dating guys in their late 40s, early 50s doesn't seem to produce anybody worth spending time with because nobody taught men how to communicate.
That's not my problem. It's yours.
I want to apologize for my voice today, gentlemen and gents. I foolishly got into a throat punching contest with an Ardolian swamp smuggler, and it ended in a draw. So the plus side is now he owes me a humidifier, but I owe him 5 pounds of medium grade coffee. It's a long story, I don't want to get into the details, but suffice to say, it was totally worth it. Now on to today's video. I hate to break it to you, sister. It's not that men never learned how to communicate. It's that we don't care what you have to say. You said nothing that could even be considered original or even an interesting thought. You're just complaining about how you can't get a date and that's somehow our fault. But the worst part is you never learned how to think, because if you did, you'd realize that you were the most common denominator of all of these so-called dates. The best you could ever hope for in this market is to meet a man who'd be willing to meet up with you for regular rendezvous at a seedy motel, where the two of you could create fish-reeking nightmares for the housekeeping staff. But that's only if you're profoundly lucky, darling. I wouldn't get my hopes up for that good of a scenario. There isn't a man alive who is desperate to take a motel room that badly.
And it's just tough. Like, I've been on several amazing dates and they never pan out to anything more because it seems that the dating apps just give you this fake feeling of there's always something or someone better. And while I'm no Big 10 here, I'm at least a good solid 8 or 9 because, well, this is what I look like, and I work and I'm independent and I have my own home and I have my own things.
Be serious, woman. If you were a 9, then you would have a line of men around the block who'd be asking you out on a date, but that's clearly not the case here. I'm gonna try and put this next part to you as delicately as I possibly can. Lady, if you were surrounded by men who were pathetically drunk on a questionable amount of grain alcohol, statistically speaking, there is a 13.2 chance that 3 of them will consider you a 2 at the absolute highest. But for that to happen, there would have to be no other women in a 34-mile radius, and it would have to be a bank holiday. You know this. This is why you're trying to use the number system to measure your worth based on your insufferable qualities of working, owning property, and your crippling sense of independence. It doesn't work that way, darling. You had your chance when you were younger to find a good man, and for one reason or another, you blew it. Women get to play life on easy mode, and you still figured out a way to take all of your advantages and completely blunder it to become a spectacular life failure.
No one makes friends with a failure. Okay? Understand?
Welcome to How to Go From Heartbroken to Unbothered. I'm gonna be teaching you things that I wish I knew sooner to get over him quicker. Because being hung up on someone when you know they weren't your person and you know they're not good for you, but you can't help missing them is no fun. First thing I want to say is that I get it, okay? I get it. It is so valid to be missing someone and heartbroken over someone, even when you know they did you wrong, even if you know they weren't your person. But what you need to realize is that the main reason that you miss this person is because they were a part of your routine. Really, no matter who it is, scientifically, your brain is getting used to not seeing them as much anymore. So it makes sense that you miss them. I feel like the realization that it's just your brain playing tricks on you helps so much, because I used to be so hard on myself for missing people that I know I shouldn't, but your brain literally needs time to readjust to seeing them all the time. So it's not your fault.
Bullshit! Well, look who it is. How's it going, Ethel? Looks like your caffeine addiction has gotten so bad it's completely dilated your pupils. Oh, good for you. It was only a matter of time, and I guess some useless goals are better than none at all. Now, Ethel, the reason why you miss these men is because of your unrealistic expectations. The men you desire fall into an incredibly specific subset of men that are fairly rare, and these men are profoundly selective. And a caffeine-addled social media banshee really doesn't rank very high on their particular lists. This is an idea you can't comprehend, as the endless source of validation you get from your social media accounts fill your head with the idea that everybody wants you, except that man you keep hoping will be your quote-unquote person one day, but he never will. That man has too much dignity, Ethel, and he's not going to be sacrificing it for a manic pixie fairy who will dehumanize him by not even referring to him as a man. And your brain won't be able to let him go, because much like your caffeine addiction, it's the only thing keeping you going in this life.
Another thing you need to know, if you really want to get over them the quickest way possible, we are doing no contact. It's the only way. Every breakup that I've tried to talk to my ex directly after breaking up, you are dragging out the process, okay? This might not be the last time you talk to them, but it can't be anytime soon, because you need time to heal before you say things you don't mean, and that is the key. If you do no contact, that is the highest probability that you are going to get over them the fastest. I know it's hard to not text them or call them, but you will thank yourself in a few months when you are truly actually over that and not crying in your bed still. All for more I love you, bestie boo, and thank me later. Mwah.
Ethel, you can't even go 3 seconds to take a breath in between sentences. How do you expect any of us to believe that you can go no contact with a man that you desperately want in your life? Now, I agree, you should leave that man alone. Not because of your healing journey or anything like that, it's because you are so damaged that you're beyond healing, Ethel. It's more of a common courtesy thing. You should leave that man alone because he's more than earned some peace after dealing with you for a few days. I mean, I gotta hand it to the guy. Based on the fingernail taps on your desk alone, I don't think I could spend 5 minutes in an elevator with you before descending into the abyss known as eternal insanity. You need to face the facts, Ethel. There is no chance in hell that you'll be able to go no contact with any man you come across. Your need for validation is the only thing stronger than the coffee you guzzle so you can walk a straight line. But the good news is that soon enough, old Ethel here won't have to worry about any form of contact. Don't worry, Ethel. Just wait a few years and you'll understand.
You know that. Of course I do, sir. Everybody knows that. Of course we do, sir!
This is a quick and easy eye test. What color is the lobster to you? If it's red, you're a normal person. If it's blue, then you have a crush on me?
That is without a doubt the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Sister, I don't think you thought this one through. Any man who sees a blue lobster is going to be seen as abnormal, and abnormal men aren't interested in spice miters. They're interested in Point Blank, one of the best movies around. Have you ever wondered what a Die Hard in a shopping mall movie would look like if Mickey Rourke forced it to give up on itself within the first 30 minutes of runtime? Well, wonder no more, because Point Blank's got you covered. It's the kind of movie where Mickey Rourke was so disinterested that it forced the D-list cast of actors to write their own dialogue just to pad everything out. And when Danny Trejo isn't doing boatloads of Colombian nose candy, it takes breaks from trying to make you believe that Rourke is a Krav Maga gymnast stealth expert by constantly trying to remind you of Die Hard. I'm not kidding here. There's literally a scene where a dude gets on a minigun and goes nuts while a 90s guitar rendition of Silent Night plays in the background. Did I mention Danny Trejo is in the movie? Oh, I did? Okay, well then what are you waiting for? I'm not saying that Point Blank is going to provide ample amounts of entertainment. I'm not even saying Point Blank is any good. But what I am saying is that it's definitely one of the best movies around.
This is for the guys that have a fear of rejection with asking a woman out. So if you are in a position right now where you feel like you're being rejected or you fear rejection, that's okay, that's completely normal. But what is necessary for you to do is to take a risk. I always say you got 2 shots when you ask out a woman. The first one is always the feelers. You are putting out your feelings, you're seeing how she reacts, you're seeing if she's going to say yes. If she says no straight away, that's a no, and respect her. If she says, yeah, here's my number, or here's my Instagram, or yeah, you know, let's meet up, then you shoot your shot the second time. So the second time is going to be your answer. The first time is the feelers.
No. No, man. Shit, no, man. I believe you get your ass kicked saying something like that, man.
Hey, woman, are you suffering a stroke right now? Do you need directions to the closest hospital? Because all you gotta do is go that way. And if you don't find a hospital that way, then go the other way. Because 2 shots? Are you nuts? Shooting your shot in today's society runs the risk of such extremes that rejection is actually one of the tamer consequences. But shooting twice? Now that's just asking for trouble. It used to be simple. If a man approached and she was interested, that's all you needed. But now we have to shoot our shot, get a number, and then shoot again? Hell no, that's just too much work for too little payoff. And men have better things to do with their time than play these stupid games, especially when the end result has such extremes that it makes the gamble not worth it in the first place. This isn't about rejection, lady. That's the best case scenario. We have to deal with the risk of humiliation, public shaming, and even false allegations. No self-respecting man is willing to take that kind of a risk just for the off chance that he can get a cup of coffee with some floozy in a skirt.
And guys, you have to take a risk. You have to take a risk, okay? Because I know there's this whole situation with being in the gym, and yeah, some women, they want to go there and they want to work out, but there are so many women, and I have clients, I speak to a lot of women about this. I used to own an agency where, you know, I'm not going to go into it, but there was a lot of, you know, matchmaking and things like that. So I understand that there's a lot of women that are crying out for men to be, one, more masculine, but two, respectful in their approach. So it's a fine line. You don't have to come across aggressive, but you have to have some sort of passion and excitement that you want to, you know, take to meet this girl, take her out on a date.
No.
Sister, you really should just stop right now. You're bringing up a failed matchmaking business where women paid you to listen to them complain about how Chad never approaches them. We don't care what women want. You never cared what we wanted in the first place. Modern women want masculine men. Wow, that surely is front page news. But they want men to enter into a masculinity pissing contest with them so she can finally submit to someone who's finally more masculine than her. And society deems that as a reasonable request for some reason. Meanwhile, if we say we want feminine women, then we're seen as gym creepers who need to be monitored by the federal government. There's no sense in taking a risk anyway because modern women know what they want. They want to be approached by Chad. But that's a fool's errand. She'll approach Chad herself. So we operate under a very simple rule, woman. If she doesn't approach us, then we know she's not interested. We didn't set the rules in place, sister. That was all you. We just adapted.
You have to be a bit more of a risk taker, and women will accept it, and you will get your answer whether it be the first time or the second time that you ask them out. So do something different today. Go against your fear, go against the grain, and see what happens. And let me know in the comment section.
Do you please maybe help me?
No way! This is your dishwashing liquid! You soak in it!
Leave it to a life failure coach to make a mess of human pair bonding, completely destroy dating culture, and make it seem like 95% of men are inept, violent, psychopathic perverts, and then turn around and look at those very same men and tell them that they have to fix it. Why? Why in the hell should we, woman? What do we have to gain by cleaning up the mess that you created? What's in it for us? An entire generation of modern women who are too old to have kids, but too immature for their age. A veritable army of used up, medicated, politically militant women who are incapable of feeling any emotion that doesn't revolve around misery. Now, I guess I'm still waiting to hear the part as to where I actually get any form of benefit from this entire mess. Modern women keep score, hold grudges, and are so resentful that getting a root canal without a local would be a much more pleasant experience by comparison. So I'll tell you what, sister, the day I approach you is the day I deem you worthy of approaching. Rest assured, it's gonna be far past after hell freezes over, because I'm gonna be incredibly busy that day. And before signing off today, gentlemen and gents, I need to ask you guys a little bit of a favor. Now, I know YouTube's a hellscape of fishy behavior, but I've been receiving some comments that people have been losing their subscriptions and aren't getting notifications, so if you could take a second just to double check and make sure, I'd greatly appreciate it. And to be honest, I find this kind of behavior to be rather flattering, because if the algorithm is using such backhanded tactics, then we must be doing something right. And if you're new here, make sure to like and subscribe to this video, ring the notification bell so we can give the good old-fashioned middle finger to the YouTube algorithm. And thank you so much for checking out the new video, and until next time, peace out, homies.